Do you all remember the first Primal Pokemon that came out way before Primal Kyorge and Groudon? Well, that Pokemon is Primal Dialga, and in today's episode of Pokemon Explained, I'll be explaining what it actually is. First up, before the comments go crazy, I just want to make sure everyone knows this. Primal Dialga has no connection to either Primal Groudon or Kyogre. As in Japan, this Pokemon is called Dark Dialga, but for the localization it was called Primal Dialga. However, this name wasn't only for localization purposes, and I'll explain what I mean right now. So, Primal Dialga is the main antagonist of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, Time and Darkness games on the Nintendo DS. Although it looks different and has a different name, this Pokemon is still actually Dialga. It was a form Dialga took because it lost its power to control time. Dialga lost its ability to control time due to Darkrai, who stole the time gears, creating a disruption in the flow of time. And because the flow of time got corrupted, Dialga also got corrupted, making it run on only its primal instincts, hence the name Primal Dialga. In its primal form, Dialga only cares about itself, and because of this, Dialga tries to stop anyone trying to intervene with the past. Because if its creation in the past is changed, Primal Dialga will cease to exist. So, Dialga sends its henchmen to work against the heroes in a battle to change and not change the past. After a few time travel shenanigans, the heroes make it to the present with the help of Celebi. Once they get there, they encounter Dialga, who is in the process of turning into Primal Dialga, like the one from the future they've been currently fighting. But, in its rage, present Dialga thinks the heroes are trying to destroy the temporal tower, so they end up being attacked. So after an epic battle, the heroes manage to defeat Dialga and save the tower, which in turn restores Dialga to its normal state, which Dialga thanks them for. So with their victory in the present, the future version of Primal Dialga, along with the future versions of the other Pokemon, all get erased, as that past has been fixed and that future no longer exists. Primal Dialga also appears in a special episode of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, called In the Future of Darkness. In this special episode, we see Primal Dialga punishing Dusknoir for failing its mission, and punishing Grovyle for trying to change the past. The two Pokemon are about to be finished off by Primal Dialga, but before Dialga can deal the final blow, time begins to flow once again, because the heroes in the past emerge victorious. Although this doesn't save Primal Dialga, instead going berserk and heading to the passage of time. And at the passage of time we get to see another epic battle, this time with Dusknoir, Grovyle and Celebi against Primal Dialga, with it once again ending in Primal Dialga's defeat, this time restoring it back to its normal state and erasing the dark future. Dialga then tells the other Pokemon that it was not him who saved the future from its dark self, rather it was a Pokemon even more powerful than him. I wonder who that could be. Alright then, with the lore explained, now it's time for some trivia facts, thanks to Bulbapedia. Primal Dialga can use its signature move, Roar of Time, even though it's lost its ability to control time. In Super Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you can recruit a Dialga, and this specific Dialga is said to be connected to Dusknoir. This implies it's the same Dialga that was helped by the player back in the Explorer games. And lastly, Primal Dialga appears in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, Beyond Time and Darkness anime, but only as a silhouette at the very end. With all that said and done, what do you think about Primal Dialga? Personally, even though it's just a reskin of Dialga, I think it's still a really cool Pokemon, and the idea of a legendary Pokemon losing control of its power is still really cool. And not to mention, it gave us one of the best Pokemon songs which you've been hearing this video. I hope you all learned something about this Pokemon that you didn't know before, and if you did learn something, make sure to comment down what you learned. And if there was any facts that I missed out, comment them down as well. And with all that said and done, take care.